What's up, Fantasy A-Team Nation? I'm your host, Josh Jenkins, and tonight we will be revealing our top running back matchups for week one. But before we get to the video, I would like to welcome Zach Roberts, aka my co-host, back to the show. Welcome back, Zach.
Hey, thanks for having me, Josh. I appreciate it. What's up, A-Teams Nation? How you guys doing? Let's just get to this list, man. I'm excited, dude. Let's do these running back matchups.
All right. Give me your first pick for week one.
All right, man. It's kind of a no-brainer, man. Christian McCaffrey's number one. He's going against one of the bottom three defenses in the league versus the Jets. So he's the dual threat. He's fully healthy coming off the offseason. So he's going to have multiple touchdowns. I believe he'll have more than 150 all-purpose yards. I mean, the kid's a stud. Who knows? He might even have 200 all-purpose yards.
I totally agree. I love this matchup for McCaffrey. I think he's going to run all over these guys Sunday. There's untelling how many yards he's going to have.
He's got some stuff to make up for. You know, he's ready. He's got it in his mindset. Give me that ball.
And that he does. All right, go ahead and give me your second pick.
All right, so for number two, 2 and 3 could easily be flip-flopped on my list, like I had said in the draft video, but I'm going to stick with Derrick Henry because he's such a super beast. I know he's going against Arizona. They're like a top 15 defense, so I believe he'll get somewhere between 15 and 20 touches, possibly 2 touchdowns, and I believe he'll definitely go over 100 yards. It could be up to 125, or more, so we'll see. They're gonna feed him the ball.
Yeah, I agree. I also love this matchup. Like you said, you could easily flip this one and the next one. I've got Cook. I think he's just going to have a heck of a day Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's.
All right, go ahead and give me your third pick.
Okay, so like I said, we could easily flip-flop. So I'm going to go with Dalvin Cook for my number 3 versus Cincinnati. They're a bottom 10 defense, so he's a dual threat. Look for him to get at least 12 or more carries, maybe 3 to 5 receptions. He'll be over 150 all-purpose yards, most likely. He'll maybe get 2 touchdowns, 1 for sure, though. But I'm thinking he'll get 2. So I look for him to have big game.
Yeah, I agree also. I did take Henry with my third pick. He could easily have been the second pick. So
absolutely.
Let's go ahead with pick number 4.
All right, so number 4, I got Alvin Kamara. I mean, with the New Orleans offense, the way it is, they're going against Green Bay. I think he's going to get at least 15-plus touches. So that's between carries and receptions. I believe he'll at least get 2 TDs this game, if not more. He could have 150 all-purpose yards or more. So I don't know, man. I would stick with him if you drafted him, put him in there. He's going to give you a lot of points.
Yeah, I also agree. I love this pick, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I just have a feeling that Kamara and Jameis Winston, they're going to hook up together Sunday. I think Peyton may try to play it a little safe, being the first game for Winston. So I look for Kamara to have a big game.
I agree. Yeah, 15 or more targets or, touches, whatever you want to call it. So number 5, I got Saquon Barkley. He's versus Denver. I don't really like this matchup. Denver's a top 10 defense, and supposedly Saquon just got back to being like kind of quote unquote healthy or whatever. So they're going to test him out this week. I believe he's going to have 15-plus carries, and he'll probably get 3 to 5 receptions. You can still start him if you draft it. I mean, you draft him for a reason, but I'm just saying I don't know if I like this matchup like I've liked a lot or loved the previous matchups. This is the first one that I'm kind of iffy about, but it's Saquon Barkley. He's like Ezekiel. They're gonna feed him. That's why they got it. So
exactly. I also have Barkley at number 5. I do not like this pick actually for this game. There's too many unknowns with him coming back from that injury. I'm sure he's going to get his yards, but just how many? That's the question.
Agreed. So it's kind of a question mark. I mean, we're going to give you some honorable mentions that if you're not liking this matchup like us, one of these honorable mentions, if you happen to draft them or you have one of these other guys, you just plug them in. Yeah. So let's get on with the list. I got number 6, Jonathan Taylor versus Seattle. Seattle's a bottom 12 defense, 12 plus carries, I believe, and maybe 1 to 3 receptions, possibly 1 TD, or 1 TD, but possibly 2 TDs. My bad. And I think he'll have 120 plus all-purpose yards. So if you got him, man, put him in there. He's going to give you some points.
I agree. I like this pick. The Seattle Seahawks defense is not the greatest, so I'm sure he'll get his yards. He'll probably score a touchdown. So,
I had that. I like this pick, and I think he'll have at least 1 touchdown, possibly 2. Just depends on how bad. Like the Seattle's defense was kind of iffy, so that's why they don't have them as ranked as high this year. But maybe they got some guys in the offseason and they got some chemistry. We'll see. You know, we're still kind of going off of last year's data and predictions. So at right now, we don't know how good Seattle's D is. We think they're going to be bottom. So we're looking for, Taylor to have a pretty good game. So.
All right, go ahead and give me your 7th pick.
All right, 7th pick. It's got Nick Chubb going against my Kansas City Chiefs. I do like this pick, even though I think the Chiefs will win this game. What I think will happen is, Nick Chubb's a baller, so he's going to get his yards. I believe he'll get 12 plus carries, 75 yards rushing at least or more, probably get at least 1 touchdown. So if you drafted him, man, he's on 7 at our list. Go ahead and plug him in there and get your points.
I also agree. I have Chubb down as my 7th pick. I like this pick. I have a feeling the game is going to be close, just like it was in the last playoff game that they had. Chubb, Kareem Hunt, and maybe get to see some Odell Beckham action going on. So we'll see what happens.
I agree. That's why I had him only at 75 yards. My prediction is that the Chiefs will give up probably about 150 rushing yards. I don't know how it'll split between Chubb and Hunt, but I just split it down the middle just for, just to kind of give them each benefit of the doubt. But Nick Chubb will probably get more, and that's why I said he'll probably get 75 plus yards. Maybe Hunt gets 40 to 60 yards, so we'll see what happens.
All right, go ahead and give me your 8th pick.
All right, 8th pick, I got Aaron Jones. He could easily be flip-flop with Chubb, but here's why. They have so many weapons, and Rodgers like to pass, especially if it's going to be a tight game, which I think with New Orleans, and we're talking about how we think New Orleans offense is going to be pretty good. So I think in this game, New Orleans defense, even though they're only a top 15 defense, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, because it's Rodgers and company. So with that said, I go with Aaron Jones. I like this pick. He's a dual threat, 15 plus touches. That's receptions and carries. I believe he'll have a touchdown, maybe 2. And this really could be high. He could be higher up the list. It's just we're not for sure how this defenses and everything's going to work out. So that's kind of that's my prediction.
Yeah, I also agree. I do like this pick. They are going against the Saints. Last year, the Saints had a pretty good defense. But this year remains to be seen. I still think Jones will get his carries, get his yards. I look for him to possibly even score a touchdown. So,
right. And I forgot to put in that I think he'll have at least 150 or maybe 120 to 150 all-purpose yards, Aaron Jones. He could, like I said, he could easily be a little bit higher on the list, but just because, if they get behind, if Green Bay gets behind it first, they're going to want to pass more. He may not get as many touches if that's the way the game plays out. So if they're ahead, they're going to feed him the ball. So, it's kind of hard to predict, but that's kind of where I lays right here at between the 6 and 8 mark, but I have him at 8.
All right, go ahead and give me your 8th pick.
All right, so I don't really like this. I actually hate this matchup, but he's Ezekiel Elliott. Got to put Ezekiel Elliott on top running back list. So he's going to get his touches. I think he'll get 12 plus touches. And with counting, maybe they'll throw him the ball a couple times. You never know. He doesn't get too many balls thrown out of the backfield, but sometimes he does, depending on what's playing on the defense's mind. They are a top 3 defense that they're facing in Tampa Bay. That's why I don't like the matchup. But I believe even with that said, he'll get probably close to 100 yards and a touchdown. So
I also agree. I do not like this matchup at all. The Bucks defense, like Zach says, a top 3 defense. Elliott's going to get his. So I look for him to have at least 1 touchdown.
Agreed. So the reason why we when we tell you we hate or dislike the matchups, but they're still star players. That's why we have the honorable mentions, so that you might have someone else that you pick that you could plug in. So with number 10 on the list, I got Miles Sanders because I really like the matchup. It's versus Atlanta, a bottom 3 defense. So even though he was on the honorable mentions in the draft board when we were doing our video, for this week I have him at number 10 because he's going to get 12 plus carries. He possibly might get 2 to 3, maybe 5 receptions. It's kind of, Jalen Hurts is a little bit of a question mark. So we're going to find out this year how they're going to actually utilize him, going in his sophomore season or whatever, because he played a little bit last year. So I believe with that said, Sanders is probably still going to get maybe about 100 yards rushing, maybe 25 yards receiving, and probably 2 touchdowns.
I agree. I actually have Montgomery at that spot, which I do not like that matchup. Montgomery last year was a stud, though. So I hate to really bet against him, but you never know. They are going up against the Rams, which are supposed to have a good defense this year. So we'll just find out.
Yeah, Rams supposed to have a top 5 defense. That kind of plays into what I was just going to say. So you just said who one of my honorable mentions was. So I agree with the David Montgomery. He would be my first honorable mention. He's a dual threat. He's going to get 15 plus touches because they're really slim at that running back position right now. I think they got David Montgomery at 1, and then Damian Williams from the Kansas City Chiefs at number 2. So that doesn't give him a lot of depth. So they're going to use Montgomery a lot. I look for him to maybe even possibly have 2 touchdowns. They'll probably have anywhere from 100 to 125 all-purpose yards.
All right. Is that you have any more honorable mentions?
I got 2 more. I got Joe Mixon versus the Minnesota defense. Man, they're a bottom 15 defense. He'll probably get 12 plus carries, 75 to 100 yards rushing, 1 touchdown. He might get 1 to 3 receptions for 15 to 25 yards. And then my last one I got is Antonio Gibson. The Chargers that they're facing are a bottom 12 defense. They'll probably get 12 to 15 touches, 100 all-purpose yards, and probably 1 touchdown, but it's possible that he could get 2 depending on how they utilize him in the red zone. That's what we're going to see this year because, they have that Terry McLaurin. They really like him too. So we'll just see what happens. And that's what I got for you people. If you got any of these players, man, flip your lineups over, plug them in, get those points.
All right, folks. There is our top running back matchups for week 1. Like I always say, if you enjoyed this video, give us a like, hit the subscribe button, and always remember, friends don't let friends auto draft.